asked my friends if they'd take up arms for their freedom. I was surprised at the number of volunteers. Perhaps once the fighting begins, many others will join us. But we will fight and die very quickly unless we have weapons. A lot of them. Given the right materials, we can make our own crude but serviceable weapons. Unfortunately, we're missing a few critical ingredients.
What ingredients?
Gunpowder, laser focusing crystals, and a couple other things.
Go on.
The Institute's always expanding. Excavation just completed on one of the sublevels. The mining equipment has been packed into crates and they haven't been moved yet. That equipment has everything we need. Thanks to Mr. Binet, the construction crew is populated solely by my friends. But they're under constant supervision. How do you feel about killing some guards?
I'll do it. If it's necessary.
We could come up with no other way. After you eliminate the guards, we'll move the supplies and blow up the tunnels behind us. To the SRB, it will be a tragic construction accident that killed many synths. Rare, but not unheard of. And then, our dead friends can assemble the weapons we need. Good luck.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia is a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
I can't express how truly humbling it is to stand in your presence.
I asked my friends if they'd take up arms for their freedom. I was surprised at the number of volunteers. Perhaps once the fighting begins, many others will join us. But we will fight and die very quickly unless we have weapons. A lot of them. Given the right materials, we can make our own crude but serviceable weapons. Unfortunately, we're missing a few critical ingredients.
What ingredients?
Gunpowder, laser focusing crystals, and a couple other things.
I have weapons I could give you.
Excellent. Deposit anything you can spare in Maintenance Closet 3B. But we need enough weapons to arm an entire rebellion. So the ingredients are still necessary.
Tell me how I can help.
We've come up with a plan to get what we need. The Institute's always expanding. Excavation just completed on one of the sublevels. The mining equipment has been packed into crates and they haven't been moved yet. That equipment has everything we need. Thanks to Mr. Binet, the construction crew is populated solely by my friends. But they're under constant supervision. How do you feel about killing some guards?
Who's guarding them?
A good number of early model synths. Will that be a problem?
I'll do it. If it's necessary.
We could come up with no other way. After you eliminate the guards, we'll move the supplies and blow up the tunnels behind us. To the SRB, it will be a tragic construction accident that killed many synths. Rare, but not unheard of. And then, our dead friends can assemble the weapons we need. Good luck.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
Good afternoon. Food products are available for purchase. Would you care for some?
Greetings, citizen. I believe you have business with the guards.
Operating at full capacity.
An enemy will be utilizing stealth. How interesting. Targeting. Please stand still. Be warned, I cannot allow these attacks to systems offline. Extraction of stellar synth verified. Are damaging valuable Institute property. Systems damaged.
Thank you, stranger.
Now that we have weapons, next time you will not fight alone. I can't believe the human would do
Soon,
this for us.
this will all be under wrap. Remember Z1's plan, everyone. Grab everything we can use. The crates especially.
Just keep talking if you can. I'm afraid this may be rather painful.
Don't worry about it, Doc.
Anesthetic would lower your blood pressure too much, and I need you to remain conscious.
You already explained all that. It's gonna be worth it, right?
We will fight when the time comes.
Oh, most definitely. These implants are much more advanced than anything you've had before. Dr. Walter is very pleased with you. The Gen 3 synth program is finally making progress, thanks to the genetic material you recovered.
You talking about that kid we got from the vault?
Yes, a perfectly unspoiled DNA sample. Now this next part is especially delicate, so if you could please look straight into the light.
Should everything be purple?
Oh, that's just a calibration error. How about now?
Better.
I'm just glad to have a chance to test these on a cooperative human subject. Normally, the directors are very touchy about allowing this kind of technology outside the Institute. They must find you extremely trustworthy.
See, these are gonna work, right, Doc?
Oh, yes. When I say test, I simply mean collecting data over time, which will be very valuable to making further improvements. This next part may be exceptionally painful. Try your best to remain conscious.
tense up at Warwick Homestead.
You have done your part, and we'll do ours. Weapon construction will begin immediately.
Any news about Liam?
Liam's got his terminal working. When the time is right, we have someone who can operate it. I'll stall Liam as long as I can, but he's anxious to proceed with the old plan. You should avoid him if you can. If he had any idea what we're up to, I fear he'd report us.
Have any problems?
There's been no alarm. My friends have all the time they need to get what they want, then cover their tracks.
This is a good start.
The greatest challenge remaining is keeping all of this secret from the SRB. So we're being very careful, which, unfortunately, takes time. For now, please continue working with Father. We can't afford for him to grow suspicious. When my people are ready, I will contact you.
Power demand jumped another 5%.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to many of us.
Hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Mother. Of course, you're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
Railroad? Never heard of them.
Oh, come now. Let's not play games. I know full well they were instrumental in your reaching the Institute. Don't worry. I don't hold it against you. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
That sounds way too dangerous.
It shouldn't be. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
Of course, sir. We'll be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
Yeah?
Hey,
How can I help?
your thoughts?
Don't ever let your guard down. When you do, inevitably, that's when everything goes to hell.
That was it.
Another time.
Good work on Augusta. I'd rather know the hard truth than live in ignorance.
Can I talk to you?
Something on your mind?
The Institute knows about Bunker Hill. They're planning to recapture the synths there.
The timing couldn't be worse. The old man's been sitting on those 4 synths. There's nowhere else that's safe we could put them. Maintaining your cover is vital. But the sacrifice is just too great.
How much damage would it cause if we let them hit us?
We're running out of places to hide our synths. That's why we put so many eggs in one crowded basket to begin with. So what would we lose? 4 synths, Stockton, some of our best agents, and the inevitable civilian casualties? No, not this time. We've never known when and where the Institute would strike us next. But now we have a chance to turn the tables. We wait until the enemy is in position, then we hit them, hard. No one they send out comes back alive except you. Understand?
Won't the Institute be suspicious if I'm the only one left?
You're a lot tougher than anyone else in their outfit. If only one person could survive, it would be you. And any story you come up with won't be contradicted. We can't attack too early. We need to draw them into the kill zone, and then spring the trap. You'll know when. You'll probably have a Courser escort. You'll have to take them down. You've done it before, but it'll still be dangerous.
Well, this will be an interesting challenge.
It's a risk, but it's one we have to take. So get it done.
Caravan or Raider?
On trade in the Commonwealth, but watch out for Bunker Hill. It has a lot of potential.
I'm here on my own. Freelance, huh? All right. Come on in, but no gunfire. Market's open. You can do as much trading as you like.
If someone builds defenses like that, they're building it for a damn good reason.
I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear? The mission's parameters just changed. Going shooting. Requesting backup relay now. can't believe you'd do that for us. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for sparing us. Hey.
We'll get somewhere safe as soon as you're gone.
Hey there.
You've given us another chance at life. We won't forget it.
Hi.
I can't believe you'd do that for us. Thank you.
Someone there? Gonna be a good fight!
You must determine.
Don't look, but I think we're being watched.
What's that? A noise? What was that? Something there. No bite today. It was nothing. I hear something! That sound! What is it? Hello? Someone there? I'm hearing stuff.
Sean?
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out?
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Well, here I am. Was it worth it?
I believe so. Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
We were totally ambushed. They were waiting for us.
You can imagine that I find that very hard to believe, given that all the intelligence leading up to this indicated we'd taken them by surprise. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Hey.
Tell me what you want. That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Your thoughts?
Isn't infiltration fun? Think too hard, it'll make your head spin.
Just wanted to check in, see how you feel things are going between us.
If I knew partnering up was so much fun, I would have done this ages ago.
Didn't have anything else.
Another time.
Welcome. Do you require additional supplies?
Excuse me.
I have a variety of items that should prove useful in your surface missions.
Let's see what you have.
Greetings, ma'am.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
Call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust? Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Scanning. Subject identified.
Spend enough time here, and you'll be sick to death of the word synth. I certainly am.
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
That's an understatement. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yet? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No! You can't be serious!
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
This can't be happening. I only just found you.
I've had the same thoughts more than a few times. But we cannot let this stop us. Our work must continue. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my mother as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? She isn't one of us. She isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my mother has already proven herself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Our synth at Warwick sent his first report. Thanks for taking care of that.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
I'm glad you could be here to share this with me.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Mother. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I can do the job.
Of course you can. That's why I made the decision. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Look, Director, I'm gonna make the same recommendation I did last time. We did everything we could. 4 years dedicated to preserving this Commonwealth provisional government. You've seen the same reports I have. It's falling apart and fast. We need a plan for what happens when that fall is complete. I know some of the other divisions have suggested we just cut off all contact, hide underground and pretend nobody's home. That would, in my opinion, be a mistake. We can't just give up on these people. And with the Android program, we don't have to. We'll soon have the capabilities to deploy androids to the surface in great enough numbers to maintain order. Just think about it, all right? Keep it in mind moving forward.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills. Impressive work at Warwick Homestead, sir.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Of course, that's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the Mass Fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Is that really necessary? I'm sure I could handle this by myself.
Yes, it really is. Not only is this tech sensitive, it's old. Look, I'll take care of it. You just make sure I come back in one piece.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
I know you'll achieve great things here. We all do.
Good evening.
I look forward to assisting you further.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
Greetings, Knight.
The Institute and their technological abominations.
Attention. Due to increased raider activity, all leave requests to off-base sites have been temporarily suspended. Affected parties will have their leave compensated at the next available opportunity. That is all.
Am I being accused of something?
That remains to be seen.
Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Danse is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid not. The evidence is quite damning. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Danse's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Danse are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
Had he told me, it would have been my duty to report it immediately.
Apparently I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Danse is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Danse and execute him.
I won't do it. Danse deserves a chance to explain himself.
Danse may have a stick up his backside, but he's our pal.
You will do it. This is not up for judgment or debate. I'm giving you a direct order, Knight, and I expect you to follow it without question. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Danse was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Oh god. Mole rat on a stick was a really bad idea.
Quinlan?
Excuse me.
Oh, Knight. I was told you were coming. Sorry about this business with Danse.
I don't need apologies. I need to know where he is.
Yes, you're quite right. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Danse had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Danse being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Danse up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
How did you hear about it?
There are no secrets in the Brotherhood. Maxon's made it clear that we're to locate Paladin Danse, and if we find him, report his location to you. That can only mean you've been sent to hunt him down.
I don't have time to discuss it right now, Haylen.
Why? In too much of a rush to pull the trigger? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Danse did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Haylen, you're addressing a senior officer, and you will show her the respect that she's due, or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
Change of heart, Halen?
Just following orders. Ma'am?
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my research here.
If you'll follow me, ma'am.
Ah, you're back. How did the scribe fare?
The scribe didn't make it. Give me another chance.
So, the scribe was killed, which means the data was lost, which means you failed to complete. I will notify the proper parties. In the meantime, these patrols must continue. They are essential to our cause. Rest if you need it, and if you're willing to take on another research patrol, a scribe will be made ready to go. Just exercise a tad more caution next time.
I found some technical documents for you.
Ah, good. I was beginning to run out of materials to study. Here are the caps that I promised. Remember, the Commonwealth is an almost unlimited source for these technical documents. Check every building you explore during your patrols very carefully, and you might be pleasantly surprised at what you find.
Excuse me, Scribe Halen.
Do you actually plan on killing Paladin Danse?
That's a risky question, Halen.
I know it is, but I need you to listen to me for a minute. I've known Paladin Danse ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Danse.
Why are you telling me all of this?
Because someone has to before you rush off and carry out Maxon's orders without thinking about what you're doing. Danse is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you, not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
All right, I'll hear him out.
That's all that I ask. I'll just have to trust that when the time comes, you'll do the right thing. Before the Pribwin showed up, Danse had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
she was a traitor.
It means we should get the hell out of here.
Hesitating to pull the trigger on any of the Commonwealth scum can be fair.
Paladin Danse lied to all of us. I hope he hasn't been feeding the Institute information.
Proctor Ingram. The
This
Institute
might
wants me to
actually
get
be
something
going our
called
way
a
for
beryllium
once. I was having
agitator
Proctor
from the ruins
Quinlan
of mass
research a way
fusion.
to start Liberty Prime's reactor. And then this falls into our lap. I wonder if the Institute needs it, or they're just trying to keep it away from us. Either way, we should both head over to Mass Fusion to get our hands on the beryllium agitator first. That's if you don't mind a little company, of course.
No way. You're staying here.
Hey, I might be walking around with metal rods shoved into my spine, but I can still take care of myself.
Do I have a choice?
You're the boots on the ground around here. I'm just a glorified mechanic. If you don't want me to go, I'll stay behind. But you won't be making my holiday list this year.
Forget it, Ingram. It's too dangerous.
Fine. Have it your way. I just hope you don't bring back a paperweight by mistake. Grab whatever gear you need and head up to the flight deck. But don't take too long. This could be your best chance at securing a power source for Liberty Prime.
Our vertibird should give us the air superiority we need to win this war.
That got the blood pumping.
Going down. Approach and hostile.
Almost got away.
Will not be harmed.
You do a lot of that. Winning, that is.
not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
I wish you would have told me the truth, Dance.
I might have, if I'd known what I was. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Haylen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
No, but I'm hoping there's a way out.
Don't be ridiculous. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that this must be difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
If you really feel that way, why did you run in the first place?
The moment I learned the truth, I knew my life was in danger. I'm a soldier, so self-preservation kicked in. I needed to regroup and assess the situation. Once I got here, and I had some time to think, I realized I'd just made everything worse. I should have stayed on the Prydwen and accepted the inevitable. Like I said, I need to be the example, not the exception.
The empathy that you're showing me, it's a human emotion.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I've made my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
No. I won't do it, Dance.
I can't believe you'd risk your life just to keep me alive. Why would you do that for me?
I've already lost my family. I don't want to lose my friend.
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I should consider how my death might affect the people that care about me. People like you and Haylen. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes, I can consider my next move.
Whatever you decide to do, I've got your back.
Thank you, my friend. But I have my own path to follow. The only clear choice is for me to leave the Commonwealth. The sooner I make for the border, the sooner I put this behind me. Take my holotags. Use them to prove that your mission was a success, or Maxon will just send someone else to hunt me down. Now, come on. Let's get the hell out of here.
Focus on the valuable salvage. You'll break your back carrying worthless scrap.
Going up. Ground floor.
How dare you betray the Brotherhood?
It's not her fault. It's mine.
I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed? I don't appreciate being ignored, Knight.
He's not a thing. He's one of your best men.
Have you taken leave of your senses? Dance isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the sanctity of human life and corrupted it. What was that?
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
How dare you betray the Brotherhood? I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed?
He's not a thing. He's one of your best men.
Have you taken leave of your senses? Dance isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the... I see you've made your decision, Knight. How very disappointing. Disgusting machine. Let this serve as an example to the Institute. Honor and glory.
Back before I met you, I go a whole days without that.
Disgusting machine. Let this serve as an example to the Institute.
Victorium, sister. Listen, you can't keep helping these guys.
Disgusting machine. Let this serve as an example to the... Institute. Victorian sister. Listen.
Elder Maxon?
I'm disappointed you weren't able to carry out Dance's execution on your own, Knight.
He was my friend.
Which is the only reason I'm willing to overlook your lapse in judgment. I'm returning to the Prydwen, Knight. Take some time. Say your goodbyes. And then I expect to see you there. We still have the Institute to deal with.
We could always use some more